Thus, we continue with another great story from, if not the biggest, probably one of the biggest in the world, players in the programmatic world. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome here Mariusz, who is going to tell us, to walk us through the deep depths of the programmatic buying. So thank you for joining us. Absolutely pleasure having you here. Mariusz is absolutely amazing speaker and covering exactly the region of Central Eastern Europe. So everything we do here, we make sure that we are absolutely on track on the challenges that we have on these markets. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I've seen an amazing tweet. I don't know if you've seen that. Somebody tweeted that when I grow up, I want to be like you. So it's a great job you do here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm challenged and excited to be here. I'm excited because it's an outstanding opportunity to stand here in front of you on such a great event. I'm challenged because I have 10 minutes, and it's sometimes not enough to say hello and to introduce yourself. But we've heard a lot about call to action, about time today, and it reminds me a story from just 2 days before when I was putting my daughter into sleep. I was reading a book to her, I finished, and I said to her, tomorrow when you will wake up, I will not be here. I will leave, I will go to the airport, and I will come back in 2 days. And she asked me, oh no, Dad, do you really have to go? And I said, yes, I will be on a conference, so I will come back in 2 days. And then she said to me, you know what? Why? Now I have to wait for 2 days. Why didn't you go 2 days before? Now you would be back and I wouldn't have to wait at all. And it really made me think that we perceive time differently. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm representing Sociomantic Labs, the company which was founded in Berlin in 2009. The company which was founded by three amazing guys, three German people which became my close friends. And I'm really happy because they have asked me to be one of the 2 people who are running the first office outside Berlin. We've launched an office in Warsaw, office which is responsible for all the CEE markets. And it was such a great success to do that the founders decided to go much, much further. And right now we are having campaigns in more than 65 countries and having 16 offices. And it helped us really to understand how to work in programmatic with our clients, how to talk to them, and how to find new solutions to give them a possibility to work better. Just to start, when we have started, it was all about real-time bidding. But soon after that, we've discovered that it's not only about buying media. Real-time bidding gave a huge opportunity to buy media in massive amounts, but no longer in packages, but by analyzing individual impressions, individual users. But soon after that, we realized that there is much, much more in this, because we saw that with programmatic pricing, when we calculate the value of a particular user, we can really do it smartly and to think what's the possible value of a single person to our clients. We also knew that if we want to buy a user, if we want to target him with ad, if we have spent money, if we have spent resources to analyze and to decide if we want to buy a user, then there's nothing worse that we could do as to give him an ad which is not referring to his interest. That's why we also put a lot of effort to create a tool which is doing programmatic messaging, which is reflecting needs and interests of our users. I will talk really briefly about a few things that we have discovered during the work with the clients, talking to them, and what we see that it's really important in case of programmatic. And first thing would be acquisition. When we started, we mostly did retargeting campaigns, when we were trying to bring back the user who was on the page, but he didn't purchase, to bring him back and to convince to make the transaction. But soon after that, when we were talking to clients, we also seen that, okay, they are really happy with what we did with retargeting, but they are also searching for new users. They also want to acquire people who are never on the website, but they would probably come to the page and buy something. And then we start to ask a lot of questions. We ask, okay, what are the figures that you are facing now? What do you do where you do the campaigns where you search for new users? And they said for us, for example, that, okay, the problem is that when we are doing campaigns, we are getting sometimes problems with bounce rate around 30%, 45%. So we started to think, okay, what to do to help them, what to do to make that figure smaller. But of course, that's not all, because what we knew that the bounce rate is just one factor. We knew that what this customer is actually thinking about is ROI, is customer lifetime value. So that's why we started to think, okay, what are the purchase intentions and what are the purchase behaviors of users from our clients? We started to think, okay, how can we understand what the user is doing, what is his content which is viewed, and how he's coming to the transaction. How can we help doing a campaign to our clients to reach out to users in a much better way? What we knew also is a challenge, it's of course attribution. There were already few facts here on the previous presentation about attribution model. We know that on average is 18 interactions between the purchase is being made. But in CEE, mostly what I see is that, of course, clients are focusing on the last click, the duplication. It's a challenge because if we look to the whole situation, we see it more like a cube where there are a lot of parts and there is nothing like the one part which is the most important. We have to also remember that. And knowing that, we decided to go further and to ask our clients, okay, even if the transaction is done, of course, closing is very important. It's very important to be the partner who is helping to the client to close the deal. But it's their job which is done already? No, actually, we search for more information. We ask our clients about CRM system. Okay, what kind of information do you have in your system? Because there are huge amount of data, a lot of information that we could probably analyze. What for? We can try to build loyalty. We can try to think, what should we do if the client came, he made transaction, and what should we offer to him in the next level? We started to think, okay, maybe there's something that we can do not only to make the client buy something, but maybe there is a way to convince him to buy more often, or maybe to make an average order value bigger, maybe to shorten the gap between first transaction and another one. And we started to rethink how it is possible to do that. We knew also that it's very, very important to reach our users, to reach possible clients with targeted message. Because there's nothing worse that we can do than to go with the information that it's not really interested for the user. Especially if you look that we've made research where it was really said that people are 2 times more likely to be affected by a personalized ad on desktops, but it's even 4 times more important in case of mobile. Right now, if I'm speaking right now, I see a lot of mobile phones here. So people are using it everywhere. If they go to store, we see that many, many people are viewing to the products, are checking for the information on the telephone. That's why it's so important to treat that also as a combined solution. That's why we also remember not only about the place where we find the user, we also think about the time. And of course, people act differently in the morning, in the evening. For example, if I want to buy holidays, probably I will talk to my wife. I will ask her, okay, where would we like to go? We probably talk in the evening, then we check on tablet, okay, let's see some hotels. We find something, okay, it's nice, probably we will buy it. Let's sleep and let's decide in the morning. And what happens next? I'm waking up in the morning and first thing I'm thinking, okay, I have to go to the shower, then I have to make a breakfast for my son, I have to wake him up, I have to choose clothes for my daughter, I have to wake her up, and everything is happening and happening. But before that, usually in the morning for like 3 or 5 minutes, what I'm doing, I'm taking my mobile phone and I'm checking if everything is okay, what are the news, and then if suddenly I seen an ad with a hotel I've watched yesterday on a tablet, it came to my mind, yeah, we were talking about that. So I can fastly ask my wife, okay, are we deciding to have these holidays? She says yes, okay. Then I decide, okay, I will go to work. When I have a free moment, I will drink a coffee, then I will book a hotel. What happened next? I go to work, I sit in front of computer, I start to read emails, to write, and of course I forget about holidays, right? And then it's a really crucial moment for advertiser because I was watching the hotel on tablet yesterday. I was watching it in the morning on my mobile phone. So I'm really interested person. And maybe there's really something small that you have to do to convince the person to make finally the purchase. Probably giving a small incentive might be really a key factor in that moment. So if I'm reading in emails, I'm doing some things in the internet, and then if I see another ad with this hotel and maybe with a really small discount, then I see, okay, let's spend 3 minutes, I will do the reservation and I'm done, I don't have to think about it. That's why we look into whole thing as a really integrated solution in a combined way, because when we are working with a lot of clients across CEE markets and around the globe, we work with big brands from banking, telecoms, from retailers, and we run a lot of different campaigns, typically sales campaigns, branding campaigns. What we see that it's really important to treat a user as the same person independently of what kind of mobile is using, what kind of device. We have to remember that it's still the same user if he is sitting on Facebook or just viewing the web. And by programmatic, we are able to do that by analyzing every single ad impression, every single user on a really massive scale. And ladies and gentlemen, what I've heard a few weeks ago from my biggest client was the information I just want to share, because I was said that, Mariusz, I would like to tell you that, of course, you're my agency, but actually you have become my most important, one of the most important sales channels that I have now. And this is really something that I would like to wish to all of advertisers that I hear, that they can